Hello everybody, welcome to Kaiba Corporation, and in this video we will be going through the set analysis of Dark Neostorm. This is part 2 of the set analysis. I am your host Tom Box, and we're going to go through all 100 cards of the entire set. So if you haven't seen part 1 and you're only interested in the hype cards, go check out part 1. But if you're interested in the long run to know about every single card here, maybe to find a hidden gem, you can, well, leave this video on, maybe just listen to it as a podcast, and you'll probably get all the information you'll need. And if you're going to be playing in the sneak peek, maybe this is the part where you'll find certain cards that you want to run in your 20 card draft deck. Alright, so in this segment I have sorted it into multiple parts. I have the World Legacy support, and there's a fun fact, I kind of sorted it in a more fun manner for the World Legacy stuff. Seems like this RPG game is coming to an end. I have anime based support, which is CYBERSE, and basically any archetype used by some of the characters in the show. And then we have, I guess, retro support, which is old archetypes gaining a lot of updates and getting revamped for the current formats of Yu-Gi-Oh! Then we have just a scatter support everywhere. If anything I want to say about this set is that this whole set is just massive support for everything, not so much new introduction or making any debut for any new archetype. So yeah, I guess that kind of sums up the summary of this. So make sure you hit that like button, and as you can see, life point counter. What is that? Well, it's my current life points because I am draining out. This segment is extremely difficult to make, so any thumbs up would show me a bit of encouragement. And also, if you guys want to help give me that extra bit of support, you can check out the Patreon link down in the description below. But if you guys really want to see this segment keep going on, make sure to hit the thumbs up so I know you guys want to see more of these full set analysis. And make sure you just, well, if you don't want to look at this whole thing, you don't want to see everything going on, make sure that you, well, just turn it into a podcast. A lot of you guys already told me that you watch this as a podcast, and you know what? That's enough of my intro. Here we go. Alright, let's see how fast I can go through this. We have ourselves our World Legacy support, and it seems like every single World Chalice monster have now taken part into the extra deck. It seems like they're all part of different tribes, and yeah, they all fit into different parts of the extra deck. Starting off with Mech Knight Crusadia Astromax. He's now part of your Link monster. He's a boss monster, amazing monster. He fills a very specific role in the boss monster lineup of your extra deck because he is very easy to summon, requiring 2 special summon monsters from the extra deck as part of the recipe. So 2 Link 2 monsters, 1 Link 3, and 1 Link 1, or just, I guess, 4 monsters summoned out from the extra deck. Either way, he's very easy to summon. He cannot be targeted by card effects, that's one of the best things about him, but he also beats over anyone that's special summoned because he gains their attack. And if he ever loses, he retaliates and counters by bouncing a card on the field back into the deck. So overall, a very amazing monster. And then as for Ib is a combo extender. If you're playing World Chalice, you definitely want to play this card because she offers you even more pluses compared to the people that are just going to use her generically. Generically, if you synchro summon into her, you get to add a World Legacy card from the deck to your hand. So you can add the Guard Dragon card, and apparently Guard Dragon will be playing her just because of how awesome she is. And if this card is synchro summoned and sent to the graveyard, you get to summon out a World Chalice monster from your deck to, or graveyard, onto your field. So overall, amazing monster, and it doesn't even require destruction, it's just sent to the graveyard. Then we have a generic Link bossy guy here, which is the Guard Dragon, the World Chalice Guard Dragon Almerduck. He's pretty cool, requiring a recipe of 3 Link monster. Konami is moving forward with most of the fusion monsters that require anything. They are super generic so that everyone can basically make them, and this is kind of one of the reasons why I think Super Poly came back, is just so that if your opponent makes a bunch of Link monsters, Salamangrates, you can fuse not only into I guess into the Violet Chimera, you can go into this guy and just punch out your opponent, which kind of acts as a bit of a counter towards the Bayling's play, because you can just keep punching people with this. And if you attack a Link monster with this card, if you have a similarly linked monster, the same Link rating monster in your graveyard, and banish it, pop the card, and because this happens during the attack declaration, you get a replay, you get to battle again. So yeah, this guy's 3k. It's gonna hurt. And then we have Dingirsu. Dingirsu is going to be one of the best cards in the set. It's an ultra rare. The other 2 mentioned, the Synchro and the Link, they are, well, secret rare. In fact, most of the secret rares are in the World Legacy Saga, taking, I think, 3 slots, and this is a good ultra rare to have. When you special summon out this card, special summon, you get to send one card your opponent controls into the graveyard. Non-targeting removal is something that we really like, and it's very easy to summon this card. You can revive this card and it will get that removal. This card is amazing. However, he has a limitation. You can only special summon out one of these cards per turn. If you attempt to summon it and it gets negated by, say, a Solemn, that counts as a summon as well. If you activate a monster reborn targeted, somehow it gets crowed, that doesn't count because it didn't happen. But if you attempted it and it failed, then that's a different story. Now, the other effect is that you can attach one of your banished machine monster and reattach it to this card when you summon it if you have nothing you want to send to the grave. And finally, if a card you control will be destroyed, you can detach material from this instead. So you protect your cards from all destruction. Yeah, overall, a very good card in my opinion. I think this is going to make Orcus very much playable, even though we don't have Summon Sort to play it anymore. But this card plus a Bardiche still causes the Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 combo, where you're guaranteed to send something to the graveyard or guaranteed a pop, and you can protect one of them by locking one behind the other Chainlink. So that's pretty cool. Now, in terms of the hero support, we have our Crusadia, which is Testament. Two effects. One is to make sure that your Crusadia cards cannot be responded to, and the other one is after damage calculation. If your Crusadia Link monster destroyed an opponent's monster by battle, you get to draw that many cards equal to its Link rating. So this card will draw 4 cards if you destroy a monster by battle. Yeah, that seems fair. You might as well equip this card with you should equip this card with a Hercules base so you can attack twice, so you can draw 8 cards. You know, just can't hold that many cards. Who needs Pot of Greed when you can just draw your opponent out and just set 5 cards after you finish off with that? That sounds fair. Then we have Orchestrated Climax. This is an amazing counter trap for Orcus. You can search it out with Galatea, and this card will make people think twice before they activate a card effect because it banishes whatever it negates. But on top of that, it just comes with a lot of other effects. But I want to put out a ruling right now, is that if you use this effect in the graveyard, because it is a counter trap, so in other words, you can still just banish it and then get an effect out of this during your opponent's turn. But note, if you use the negation effect, you can't use the effect to banish, just because you can only use one Orchestrated Climax effect per turn and only once that turn. So you lock yourself into that one effect so you don't get that benefit. If your opponent chooses to MST this card, don't activate to negate. In fact, you should just wait, and then during your opponent's turn, after they're kind of done during the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add to your hand one Dark Machine monster that is banished or in your deck. You get to Rhoda, a Dark Machine. But I want to be clear about this. This card is slightly different compared to the Orcus Dark Machine monster, where for the rest of the turn, you can't do something. This one is, during the turn you activate this card, you cannot special summon monster that are not Dark Machines. So it has to be Dark Machine, and if you've summoned out something else during this turn, you won't be able to use this effect. It's more like a pot of duality more than anything else. So yeah, it has that immediate lockout of you can't meet the condition. And finally, we have the Guard Dragon Fusion, which is Guard Dragon Reincarnation. Seems like our little Guard Dragon is back. You can fusion summon out one fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing Link monsters listed on its material. So if it's too dark, so you can go into Starving Venom if you really want to, but it seems like we're going into World Chalice Guard Dragon. And also, we are going to have that Boral Load Fusion Dragon that's in the, I think, what's that guy's name? Revolver Structure deck or whatever. So yeah, that counts for all the heroes. In terms of all the villains and all the bosses, we have our Crawlers, our Nightmares, and our Guard Dragon. So the X-Crawlers, we have Deus Ex Machina, or Deus Ex Crawler. I didn't ask for this. This guy, he's a flip monster. When he's face down, he gets to negate your card if you target it. So he flips himself face up and then negate and destroy the card that targeted. And if you flip him face up, negate the activated effects of monsters your opponent controls. So all face up monsters I try to activate are going to fail. And if he dies and sent to the graveyard, well, add a level 9 monster from your deck to your hand with a different type and attribute. And this whole different type and attribute thing applies to all of these monsters, and all these monsters are level 9. And we have This one, Meliodark, if he's destroyed or by battle card effect, add a level 9 monster from the graveyard back to your hand. I believe all these cards, you can technically play them as a single archetype. And then we have Astro, Nightmare, Iblis. Seems like we have our Astro, Crusadia, and then we have our Astro, Iblis. Seems like each monster has like their own counterpart. And then we even have a final boss. Now, for this one is more of a hand trap. You can summon her out if there's link issues, where there's 8 or more. And then if opponent controls more, send them all to the graveyard. Cool. And level 9 monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects, so you have to battle them. These guys, decent stats, I guess. I don't know what this card really does. I can read it right now. You can banish 2 normal monsters from your hand or graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. So it's got an easy summon condition. It's a dragon. I guess that's kind of cool. Boss monster, if you summon this card with 3 monsters with different types and attributes as material, you can destroy all other cards on the field. It has a 3500 body. Pretty devastating with the recipe of 3 level 5 or higher monsters, which means these level 9s, they all suit the condition. This here, World Legacy beginning, you get to either summon out a level 9 monster from your hand. I don't know what's a really good one. If there's a really good one that's not World Legacy related, let me know down in the comment section below. And you can also target a level 9 monster you control and then special summon 2 level 9 monsters from your deck with different types and attributes. In other words, you have one of these, summon out these 2. You have one of these, summon this one or that one. Alright? And that's about it. They can't attack and they're destroyed during the end phase. That doesn't really matter. They're getting turned into material. And we have World Legacy Finale. If 2 Link monsters are battling, all monsters on the field and in the graveyard are put back into the deck, and neither player can Link summon. You kind of lock people out. Cool. Wow, that's pretty neat. Yeah, shuffle all monsters back into the deck. That's a pretty good way to break a board. Yeah, Link Spider, go! Attack that Saryuja, attack that Boral Sword. Oh, by the way, you lose. Okay, that sounds kind of fun, not gonna lie. Then there is a World Legacy Finale, not Finale, but this is the end game, which is you can banish a World Legacy monster from your hand, graveyard, or face up on the field, then target 1 Link monster on the field. It gains the attack equal to the banished monster. If a Link monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card and special summon a CYBERSE Link monster from your graveyard. So I guess, who's a CYBERSE Link monster? You both are CYBERSE Link monsters. I guess you're both options. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, kind of a situational card. You can use each effect once per turn. I guess it's decent. It almost feels like a crappier version of True Draco Apocalypse. But that is the rundown for the World Legacy stuff. What do you think about this archetype? Getting each of them joining a different part of the story. So it seems like they're all fully loaded. They're fully equipped. They're all level 99, because hence the level 9. I guess you're level 8, but whatever. Who cares? Let's move on. Okay, I think I dwelled on World Legacy stuff too long. Let's go into this stuff. We have Grid Sweeper for the cyber support. This was one of our promos. We have Firewall Guardian. I think it's kind of a cute card. If this card is sent to the graveyard as link material, you get to summon itself back out, but only for cyber stuff. Banish it when it leaves the field. And there's a lot of graveyard stuff too. When an attack is declared involving a link monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the attack, and if you do, the original attack of that monster becomes 0 and it is unaffected by card effects. I guess that's kind of neat. Of course, there is the secret rare of Signet Mining, which is the Rhoda for CYBERSE, level 4 or lower. For level 4 or lower monsters, you can only activate 1 per turn, but you do have a discarding cost, so it's technically a -1. I'm saying I could see play in Salamangreats. Some of you guys are like, why would I want to play this in Salamangreats? There is potential. With the loss of the Lady Debug, are you just not going to refill that role, or are you just going to play Buffalo and just hope for the best on your draws? Either way, that is the thing. And speaking of Salamangreats, we have Salamangrate Fennec. Oh my god, Fennecs. The word that I learned that I didn't really care about. Anyways, if a CYBERSE monster you control a special summon from the extra deck and is destroyed by battle or by opponent's card effect, you can special summon out this card from your graveyard. So another graveyard summoner, level 3. I like the fact that it's level 3 because you can go into Mirage Stalio, but you banish this card when it leaves the field. I guess it provides you with a level of protection. I'm not sure if you want to open with this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a link material for a link 2 or higher CYBERSE monster, you can add a Salamangrate normal spell. Oh, never mind. This card is actually pretty good, but only as a material for Sunlight Wolf. Or if not Sunlight Wolf, at least someone else, maybe like a Heat Leo. This is actually not too bad. You get to add another Salamangreat spell, which can help you fetch out the Fusion of Fire, or you can fetch out this Salamangreat Recurrence, which is a salvage for Salamanger. Target 2 Salamanger monsters in your graveyard with different names, add them to your hand. If this set card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you get to add a Salamangreat spell or trap, but you can that basically means if you have 2 copies of this, you can pop one and you can activate one, and then cool, you get all their effects because you can use each effect once per turn. That's cool. As for our extra deck additions to the I guess the for the CYBERSE guys, we have Firewall Xyz Dragon. I believe Borreload is also getting a Borreload X-Charge Dragon or whatever. Either way, really cool stuff. 2+ level 4 monster. I don't really like this monster. I honestly think this monster is just a weaker version of Dark Rebellion, because they kind of require the same stuff. If this Xyz Summon Dragon gains attack equal to the total link rating of monster linked to it. So if something is pointing to it, I guess it's beefy. You get to detach 2 material from this card, target a link 4 CYBERSE monster in your graveyard, special summon it so that it points to this card. Okay, and then you can't attack directly and you can't special summon monsters for the rest of the turn. It's like, it's got this huge limitation. You're literally not exceeding your expectation here, Firewall Exceed Dragon. I don't know, a bit disappointing. I wish that you could at least still attack directly, or at least get other special summons and lose, like, not both, but like one or the other restriction. But this one is And then here's our CYBERSE reminder to you guys, requiring 2 level 3 monsters. Okay, I guess you can play this in Salamangreats at the very least. I guess you get to use this as Signet support. You can detach 1 material, target 1 Signet spell or trap, and add it to your hand. The Succeed Summon, destroyed by battle or by your opponent's card effect while under its owner's control. Wow, lots of limitations here. It just seems very basic. Special Summon 2 level 4 CYBERSE monster with different names from your deck and negate their effects. Okay. Okay, it's kind of neat. Kind of a neat card. You can get that Dotscaper out, I hope. But yeah, that's basically it for the CYBERSE. Okay, for Dino Wrestlers, if you're looking to win the sneak peek or anything along those lines, Dino Wrestler cards are probably the cards that you want to assemble your sneak peek deck. But aside from sneak peek stuff, let's go over their effects. They are getting a ton of support. They're getting 7 cards. They get a Synchro, a Fusion, and they get a new Xyz. Now, as for these monsters, now nothing is as good as Pancratops, let's just be honest here, but in terms of like their own archetype support, they are getting a bit of diversity and a lot more resource management and a lot more utility. Now they get basically their own battle fader, they get like a free retrieval and a tuner that just jumps out for free. Starting with the tuner, we have Dino Wrestler Colsalat, let's just call it Colsalat, and if you control no monster, you can just jump this card out from your hand. It's a level 2. And you can special summon out like this card once per duel. Wow, which is really restrictive. If special summon out this way, you cannot use it for a link material except for a Dino Wrestler. So you can't just, free dude. Cool, but that's fine. But you can still synchro and still fuse with it. On top of that, you got the Martial Anga. Martial Anga is your battle fader. If your opponent tries to attack, tries to beat over your Dino Wrestler monster, you get to send this card from your hand to the graveyard. That monster cannot be destroyed by battle, and you also end the battle phase at the end of the damage step. And once per turn, if this card's in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, he just summons himself back out during the end phase. So you stop the battle phase and you get a body during your opponent's turn. Either way, it's a major plus for me. And then we have how do I even read this guy? Eskimmer. Let me try this, guys. Eskirmanmenchi. Okay, so this one is not exactly like a Pancratops. Pancratops is obviously a much better card. You get to normal summon out this card without tributing, and during your opponent's turn, if they special summon a monster while this card's in the graveyard, you get to target a level 4 Lord Dino Wrestler in your graveyard, special summon that, and then re-add this card back to your hand. And this is not like once per duel, this is once per turn. It has a 22 body, but for sneak peek purposes, you special this card out, then you get to normal this dude out, and now you have a 22 beat stick and I guess an 800 dude. And this dude will protect all your dudes from battle, which is pretty good. But what else do we get? Who do we go into? You can synchro. This is a 2, this is a 6. You go into the synchro of 8, which is Dino Wrestler Gigaspinos. Gigaspinos requires a dinosaur tuner, so both of the boss monsters available, if you battle with them, your opponent cannot activate spells and traps at the end of the damage step. They all have different kinds of effects. Your opponent cannot target other monsters for attack, so in other words, it protects all your dudes at the very least. And once per turn, target one monster your opponent controls and you can destroy it. So this card is pretty good, and if this card will be destroyed by battle, it destroys one other card you control instead. Yeah, overall, it has really safe battling. It has, I guess board removal. You get to destroy your opponent's monsters, and it also comes with self-protection. I don't know what more you would ask for in a synchro monster that is very easy to summon in sneak. So if you get this combo, it's going to be a tough time for your opponent. They're going to need to go into the Orcus play to deal with it. Oh, by the way, there's no Orcus dude link monsters. You can't even use this Orcus. So yeah, there's that. As for our fusion, we have our Dino Wrestler Chimera T-Rexel. So requiring a Dino Wrestler Link monster, and you also need a Dino Wrestler monster. Of course, the battling condition is that your opponent cannot activate spells and traps, much like a Ancient Gear monster. This guy pierces, and anytime it destroys a monster by battle against 500 attack, and if this card is destroyed by a card effect, destroy all of your opponent's attack position monsters. Built-in mirror force is what I would like to say. Yeah, overall, pretty decent card, pretty easy to fuse. And how do you fuse them out? You get Tyrant Dino Fusion. It's a quick play fusion card, so you can just extend the play off of it, which makes it very scary. Any type of fusion card that is a quick play is always a plus in my book, and it makes it very scary in the battle phase. Now, fusion, one Dino Wrestler fusion monster from your extra deck using monster you control as fusion material, and if you do, the first time that face-up monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, it is not. Ooh, makes it very tough to get rid of your dudes, and you also gain a new Link monster, which is Terra Parcorio. 2 Dino Wrestler monsters. Again, free summon. Why not? And with that free summon, you get a left and up arrow. I don't like that up arrow very much. But if you activate Dino Wrestling, you can target one of your Dino Wrestlers in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So immediate plus on the Dino Wrestler Wrestling Federation field spell. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as a link material, you can target one Dino Wrestler in your graveyard, special summon in defense. In other words, lots of material recursion coming from this dude, which is pretty good. It does lock you into Dino Wrestler summoning, but that would be it for Go stuff for the Dino Wrestler side. Let me just get rid of this. As for more Go cards, we have Go Onizuka's Goki Blade Ogre, a double attacker, and a Solid Ogre, which is a monster that is protected from battle and card effects as long as it points to something, and its effect is to move stuff, so it basically points to it. Yeah, that kind of sums this stuff out. Next, we have some dragons. We have Omni Dragon Broter, or Fairy Dragon Laveler. This is the hand trap dragon. Upon a monster being destroyed by a battle opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card out, and then you can banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is special summon, target a face-up monster on the field, discard one card, and then you can add a monster with the same type and attribute as that monster. Basically, it's kind of acting like a Rhoda in some sense, like a last-ditch effort Rhoda, and maybe it can chump block and protect your life points a little bit. But it does require a discard, so it's no plus, like, it's not a Phantasme. If it like gave you a free plus, I can see that this card would be a lot more popular. It seems like this is the weakest link of all your secret rares. Then we have ourselves Overflow Dragon, another destruction-based card. When a monster on the field is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon out this card from your hand. Another hand jumper, and if there's 2 or more monsters on the field that were destroyed by a card effect, then you can special summon an Overflow token. Okay, kind of mediocre. Then we have, I guess, a rocket support. This is a dragon requiring 2 dark dragons. If your opponent didn't attack with something, you get to pop it and blow it up and they take damage. Aside from that, if you're playing rockets on the other hand, if this card if a rocket is special summoned to your side of the field while this card's in the graveyard, it gets to special summon out this card back out, so you get a free 2 material. I guess it seems a bit lackluster, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. That whole rocket archetype needs a lot more to get it going, so I'll just accept more stuff for now. Maybe it'll be broken, who knows? But right now, a bit lackluster. But speaking of lackluster, Altergeist is kind of lackluster. They get the Altergeist, because this is a tuner, so it lets you go into your synchro. We have Fifinel Lag, or I don't know how to pronounce this. Fifinel Lag? Fifinel Lag. You guys let me know how to pronounce it. Now, your opponent cannot target Altergeist monster for attack, except for this, I guess, Altergeist Fiffinil lag. Oh my god, hate that word. You know what? This monster, Fifth. And your opponent cannot target Altergeist monster you control with card effects except for this. So this is a magnet, it just sucks it up. And yeah, it's also a tuner, and there's this tuner of this really lackluster looking dragon. It looks like a voodoo doll. This Altergeist Dragvarian is a voodoo doll. Literally, I don't know, it's holding a staff. It looks like Jafar. If your opponent declares an attack, you get to return an Altergeist monster you control and negate the attack. It kind of reminds me of another Altergeist monster effect. I don't know which one. Regardless, if this card's tributed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon out this card back out. So if Hexia is pointing to it, then you can, I guess you can revive this card, keep it pointed to it, I guess. And I guess in terms of that effect, it's pretty decent, but there's no real synergy bringing the stuff out. There's like no synergy for Fifth. There's no real synergy for this card right now. And then you get the Haunted Rock. It's a continuous trap. If you set this by an Altergeist effect, you get to activate it right away. So that's pretty good. That's good timing, a good speed. All it is really a Foolish Burial. And if your opponent activates a trap card, you get to negate them. So it's a Foolish Burial, and it's also a trap negator. If we need a trap negator, I guess you can stop evenly match at the very least. All right, time for some retro support, and we got 4 categories of retro support, kind of one from every old generation. For the original dual monsters, we got some Valkyrie support. For our GX, we got some Destiny heroes. For our Zexals, we have Super Quantals, and for 5Ds, we have Assault mode. So we have our synchros and everything kind of splashed in here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, let's start with the Destiny hero. If you guys want to take a break, pause the video. Just pause. I'm wondering how much life points I have left. Still got enough to keep going. So I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly. Draw Guy, or Destiny hero. I don't remember what's his TCG name, but Draw Guy, he's literally drawing a card. If he's special summoned by a hero monster effect, draw a card. And he has ability to summon himself out of the graveyard to draw a card anyway. So he's a decent card, I guess. This is decent, I guess. Then we have Fusion of Destiny. This card is really, really good. I think it makes a lot of things playable thanks to the combination of the new fusion monster of Dominator. So Fusion Destiny, this lets you send monsters for a Destiny hero fusion from the deck or hand as fusion material. So in other words, you get a massive Foolish Burial. Sure, if you think about it right now, who's your main fusion target? Destiny and Dragoon. Okay, that's one of your possible targets, but that completely changes when you have this dude, which is Dominator or Dominate Guy. You get to send 3 heroes. You get to send Malicious, Disc Commander, and perhaps another dude into the graveyard. And when you get that, oh my god, his effect itself already pays for it. When he's destroyed by battle or card effect, you just target 3 of your Destiny heroes that are level 9 or lower, special them all up from the graveyard. Like, what more do you want? And when you summon him out, you get to like rearrange your top 5 cards, and anytime he destroys a monster by battle, you get to draw 1 card. Either way, you use him for the utility, not for his battling capability. It is just really good, and it synergizes super well with Fusion Destiny. Yeah, you can set up a lot of plays. And then we have D-Tactics, which is a neat card, a funny little utility card that kind of does something out of the box, which is you get to banish your opponent's card whenever you summon out a level 8 or higher Destiny hero monster or Destiny and Dragoon. So I guess you get to banish from the field, graveyard, or from their hand. I think the hand ripping is kind of nice if you can, but then you can't set this up on turn 1 anyway. So yeah, there's that limitation. And if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you get to add a Destiny hero monster from your deck to your hand. I almost want to play True Draco with this just so that I can synergize with it. But yeah, those are the dudes. And then we have our extra hero cross guy. Now, if you play the Fusion Destiny, you're basically locked into summoning out dark heroes for the rest of the turn. And this is a dark hero. If your Dominator dies, you can link into this guy and you'll summon out a guy from the graveyard once again. And then you can, well, you can tribute 1 Destiny hero and add a hero monster from your deck to your hand with a different name. So this guy is kind of like a Stratos to some degree. Yeah, that counts for all the hero dudes. Let's go into the Super Quantums. Are you guys still with me? Okay, Super Quantums, you get the new White Rangers. Our Power Rangers, we got a new Megazord, and we got a new Dinozord. Zord. Is that the right term for it? Cool. We got a This kind of reminds me of Dragon Zord almost because of the way that it's laid out, but it also kind of looked like Red Ranger's dinosaur, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay, so what do you do with the White Ranger? The White Ranger, if you send one non-light super quant monster from your hand or face up on the field to the grave, you can summon out this card in defense position. Level 7, free body, kind of, not really. You have to play super quant to actually abuse it. It changes its level attributes. Then we have the quick play. I find this quick play to be very interesting. It's Super Quanto Alpha Call. What's interesting about it is that it is an effect that summons out a monster, but it has a triggering condition of a monster being destroyed by battle. The fun thing about this card is that it is a quick play spell. It is not a trap. It is not a built-in monster effect. I think this is kind of one of the first of its kinds. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's another battle destruction-based trigger that is a quick play spell. In other words, you can go ahead and crash one of your monsters with a super quant monster you control. You just like summon a dude, like I don't know, blue layer, green layer, summon out one of those dudes, and then you just attack. Your opponent is going to guess that you have a super quanto alpha call in your hand, like easily, because you don't even have to like set this card. You just hold it in your hand, your monster dies, and the trigger is met, activate from hand. Yeah, not a lot of these cards, to be honest. So just pointing that out there, being a quick play spell, very unusual, especially a quick play spell that does not, I don't know, affect the attack and defense stat. It does activate during the damage step, at least the one of the sub-steps of the damage step. Yeah, but that's it. We have a Super Quanto Combination Magna Formation. So during your main phase 1, your opponent cannot target Super Quant cards with card effects. And then you get to target one Super Quant exceeds monster you control. Attach one face-up monster you control as material to it. So, you know, it's time to combine, guys. Let's do it. Yeah, that's kind of what it goes for. As for our Link 7, our Luster Rex. Okay, 2 level 7 monsters. It cannot attack like all the other ones unless it has exceeds material. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, target an effect monster on the field, negate its effect. So anything that is kind of white related, I guess it usually relates to effect negation. Anything that's light related, like effect fail or stuff like that, it's just kind of the way it goes. And this true Super Quanto Mech King Blaster Magna, oh my god, what a mouthful, holy crap. I hope they shorten their name. It's almost like Super Robo Galaxy Destroyer. Each time a Super Quant exceeds monster with a different name you control is special summoned from the extra deck to its own discard points to draw one card. Okay, is this once per turn? No, it's not. So in other words, if you keep spamming dudes, you will keep drawing cards. If an exceeds monster discard points is destroyed by battle or card effect, special summon out a Super Quant from your deck with the same original attribute as one of those monsters. So in other words, if your monster blows up, if your mech blows up, you eject the pilot back out. That's what it sounds like. And you can only use this effect of Super Quantum once per turn, so you don't have like infinite resources, which is, I guess, that's a little bit more fair. Alright, Valkyrie TCG support. We have Valkyrie Chariot, which is a union monster, which lets you, I guess, play with Pegasus Wing, where all your dudes can attack directly. Okay, that's kind of cool, but I think the coolest monster here is this Valkyrie Urda. Very annoying monster. I think this is the only one that I really want to read into, which is you can only control one copy of this, and if it's special summoned by a Valkyrie card, all your opponent's monster loses 1000 attack. That's brutal because it has the other effect where any cards that's destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. This is just Macrocosmos. It's just Macrocosmos, kind of. It's really rough, but it is a destruction-based Macrocosmos, so not as bad. And then, yeah, that's about it. You have another banish-based card where you go to defense and banish a card. Yeah, that's about it. Direct attacking, and Loge's Flame. If you control a Valkyrie monsters your opponent controls with 2000 attack or less cannot attack. Okay, you lock them out of attacking. And okay, if your opponent destroys this card by card effect, well, you get to free summon out a Valkyrie. Okay, let's go into some of the stuff that we care about a bit more, which is the Assault Mode. I know a lot of you guys enjoyed the Assault Mode stuff, especially the Assault Mode Stardust, and they just came out in OTS 10, so that you guys don't have to go dig for the Ultra Rare that came out in that mini tin. Assault Sniper. I'm finally glad that they're making this deck a lot faster, and maybe we'll see some rogue play into this. I've been playing against some of these people online, and it's pretty rough. Assault Sniper, I think they changed the name of this card. Is it like Assault, like, I don't remember, like Ambusher or whatever. Now tribute this card, special summon out one card from your hand or deck that specifically lists assault mode activate in its text except for sniper. And also you cannot special summon the monsters from the extra deck except for synchro. So you lock yourself into synchros, you have to play into the assault mode plays. And yeah, you can target one, I guess you can target one face-up monster you control, reveal one synchro monster in your extra deck, and if you do, the targeted monster's type and attribute becomes the same as the revealed monster. Okay, I can buy that, but this guy, definitely a very decent card. You can just tribute him when he's on the field and you just bring out another dude. Overall, not bad. Of course, we have Psy Reflective. This card is normal or special summon. I think this is the card you're going into. You get to add an Assault Mode Activate or a card that lists Assault Mode Activate in its card text. Lots of speed. This is good synergy. You are locking yourself out into only synchro summons, but that's okay. You can reveal an Assault Mode Activated in your hand and then target one monster in your graveyard that specifically lists Assault Mode Activated in its card text, and then you can special summon it. And does it ignore summoning condition? It does not do that. Okay, if it did ignore summoning condition, it would be a lot cooler. But yeah, this is actually pretty good. And then as our support boss monster from Hailbird Cannon, cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon with Assault Mode Activate. And we are gaining, I think, an additional Assault Mode Activate that's a quick play spell. And all these Assault Mode monsters, they're just like buffer versions of the existing monster. So I don't even know what Hailbird Cannon does, but when your opponent summon the monster, you have, I guess, Solemn Warning, and then you banish all those monsters. Wow. Okay. And also all monster special. So if your opponent tries to special summon a monster, you just banish their whole board. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And when this card is on the field destroyed, of course, you summon out the Hailbird Cannon. You just lose the Assault Mode armor. This guy level 12, he's level 12. Wasn't his original body also level 12? I guess he couldn't give him an extra 2 levels. Then we have Assault Mode 0, tribute one synchro monster and special summon out from your hand one Assault Mode monster whose name includes the tributed monster. Okay, so this is a faster version. Going into that start, this is just that much easier. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard and then set an Assault Mode Activate. Seems like you're just never going to get enough Assault Modes in this one. And then you have Assault Reboot, where you contribute an Assault Mode monster and one special summon out one Assault Mode monster with a different name in your deck in defense position, ignoring the summoning condition. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard, target any number of Assault Mode activates or other cards that specifically list Assault Mode in their card text, except for Reboot, and shuffle them back into the deck. So you get to reset your deck. I don't know how I think about this. Remember, the draw card for Assault is Assault Teleport, which lets you put like 2 cards back and then draw 3, kind of like Gladiator's Respite, something like that. I don't know how this deck is going to play out, but I think it's going to be definitely a very fun rogue deck to kind of try out and just play with the mechanic. It could be very fun. Finally, we've reached the end of our minor support. We have Danger's Incantation and Mayakashi. Let's just get through this. We have Danger, Feats of Strength. This card is pretty good as an equip spell for sure. I mean, it protects your monster from being destroyed by card effects, and also that monster can attack twice and also gains 800 attack. On a Bigfoot, that's like 38 times 2, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So yeah, good luck trashing this. Yeah, overall, I think that's the best card out of the other 2. Then we have Danger Suspense Secret. You get to add a level 4 lower danger by discarding a level 5 or higher danger monster. Yeah, kind of crap because you kind of lock yourself into special summoning out only danger monster, and most people don't use pure danger. They play danger something. They use danger as an engine. Next, we have You Are in Danger. I think it's a little bit better, but sadly, the monster that you summon out from this card is destroyed during the end phase, so you can't even use it at the end of your opponent's turn to kind of just save yourself. But you have to reveal 3 dangers with different names. Overall, not very good, and you don't like get any effects for summoning them out anyway, so kind of slow. Next, we have our incantation. We have the creators. I don't know what's his name. He looks like a cereal tar. He's like just like rage. That's what he does. That's all he does. He just rages, and by raging, he gives all his monsters 2,000 attack for all the incantation non-ritual monsters and negates their effects. So maybe he's kind of a OTK-ish kind of card. You can ritual summon this card by using Incantation Inception. Okay, so I'm guessing the way that you use this card is You summon this card out first, and then you reveal one copy in your hand, discard it, and you spam the whole board full of dudes, and then you attack for game. Does that sound about right? I think that's about it. And then you get the field spell where, well, you can activate this card by revealing an incantation monster in your hand, and then you can special summon 2 cards with the same name, and then you shuffle the one that you revealed back into the deck. Then, no, that's about it. Once per turn, if a ritual monster is special summoned, you get to target a card on the field and destroy it. All right, cool. Ritual monster support. Go ahead, use this with heralds. I guess you can use it with heralds to some degree. As for Mayakashi, this one you get a free summon out of the graveyard, and then you can send a zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. Overall, I think it's a decent card. But you have to control another Mayakashi card to use her effect. So you can't really just get a free Mizuki out of this. And then you have the Memorial card, which is a continuous spell. Banish this card if it's in the graveyard, target Mayakashi and special summon it. So free monster reborn in the graveyard, and you get to send cards to the graveyard and draw 1 card. Alright, cool. And now we're down to all the random cards that are just kind of left over. Let's go with Chaos Betrayal. New Chaos Monster, banish a light and dark monster. I think it's this one, you banish it when it's in the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, cool. It's a 2000 attack. It's a decent monster. I'd still prefer Chaos Sork, just because Chaos Sork has a bit more utility. Or why don't we just play BLS? But it's level 6. Null Nun, Blooming Dog, or Ghost Sister. And I guess Spooky Dogwood. Life Point, Hand Trap. Probably a money card. Probably around like 40-ish, 50-ish on release. And might stay around there. No material. I think this card's just overhyped. Like, oh, people are like, oh, it's so good, guys. There are so many decks that play around it. I had this card used against me like 4 times, and they died for doing it. They lost the card. I set up a board of negations with Endymion Zephyra, and I played like Endymion this, Endymion that. This card is just trash against those decks. Against Thunder Dragon, I just didn't bother using that card as a material. In fact, I just played around it now, and it's just really lackluster. And like, you have to time it so well. I think a skilled player can potentially use it against Salamander. Yeah, it's really good, but as outside of like those ones that have very linear lines of play, not so much. Again, people are gonna hype this card up to be like, what, $50? I really doubt that, but again, format dependent. If the format calls for it, it could be $100 for all I care. Then we have Handy Gallop. Oh man, this card is so cute. You know, this card wins the best artwork award in my opinion, just because it's so cute. Cannot attack directly, and if you have a huge life point difference with your opponent, you can use this card to end your opponent. It gains attack equal to the difference between your life points and your opponent's life points. If your life points is higher, you take the battle damage. But if your life points is lower, just summon this card out and be like, attack. Okay, we're at the same life now. That's cool. That's neat. Neo Flamvel Lady. I expect this card to get censored a little bit. She's the Dark Phoenix. Alright. Quick effect, send 1 fire monster from your hand to the graveyard. And target 1 card your opponent control, and you banish it. That's a pretty solid effect, not gonna lie. Just get that free banish, but it does target, so there's that. But if if a card in your opponent's graveyard is banished while this card is on the field, send 1 fire monster with 200 defense or less from the deck to the graveyard. Ooh, free Foolish Burial. Then we have Witch Starling. Which one do you get? Depending on the zone you summon this card onto, it changes her level. Really pretty card though. It has this little galaxy-esque body on her. And we have another for hire monster. This one is the Monster Reborn. This is the Grave Summoner. And we have an Xyz Sidolphin. I don't really want to read this card. It's a dolphin. Instead of a pink dolphin, now we have a yellow dolphin. We're moving on. Maju Kaiser Garzette. So I was a really big fan of the Mayu set. I guess we have Grand Mayu to Iza, Great Mayu Garzette. So Garzettes usually gain attacks based off of whatever it tributes. The Iza usually gains based off of banish. Cannot be normal summon or set. You can special summon this card by tributing 3 monsters. Okay. The attack of this card becomes the same combined attack as the 3 original tribute monsters. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. Okay. That changes the game a little bit for this card. This card is level 9. Okay, that's neat. But I think because it gains the original attack of everything, it just kind of reminds you this is like the real Winged Dragon of Raw almost. We have Dunk Cupid, cannot be destroyed by battle except by a monster with a higher level, being level 4. In other words, you're pretty safe. You can set this card. This is your 18 beat stick. If you're going to be playing in the draft, you're going to be wanting this card, and during the standby phase, this card increases its level. So you want to keep this card as alive as possible in the sneak, just so that your opponent can't crash over it, and you can just set it in defense and just wait out a couple of turns. Then we have Lord Cloud. Okay. This, if that hand gallop wins the cutest artwork, this one wins the most badass artwork. I mean, if this freaking card was a painting on my wall, I'd be like, yeah, I'm down for it. It looks like it's like creating an MST. So it's a fire wind monster, which is very awkward because a fire wind, and this one is what, a water reptile. So you special summon out this card by banishing a fire and a wind monster from your graveyard. I don't know how this is going to work out. You guys let me know, what is your wind monster? I know that the fire monster, probably Ash. The wind monster, I don't know what's that going to be. And you can banish a fire monster in your graveyard. Target a monster your opponent control, you destroy it, and then you gain attack equal to the original attack. You can banish a wind, target a spell and trap, and destroy it. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is a very interesting monster. Okay, very fun spell card to kind of point out. Lost Dragon Strain or Lost Dragon Cry or whatever this one's called. Declare a card name. Now this is not like Mind Crush. Each time your opponent, the declared card or its effect is activated, half the life points of that card owner immediately after it resolves. So if you do this to a Sky Striker, you call Engage. Man, that kind of sucks. You're at 4K, and if you want to use double Engage, you better fetch out, I don't even know what you fetch out at that point. So yeah, you're good luck with that. During the end phase, if this card effect was applied, send it to the graveyard. If your opponent controls a monster, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. So in other words, they're stuck eating this. I think there's a lot of potential with this card in the side deck, especially if you're gonna be one of those players that play into time. Yeah, this is pretty good. Like, oh, 3 minutes left into time, decide 3 copies of this, you know what they're playing, be like, activate this card, call out like, I don't know, like a Thunder Dragon card or whatever, or call like a danger card, or Sky Striker, which is a lot more predictable, or Salads, and that's even more predictable. Just call, I think it's just really funny. Hayate, I don't know. Then there is Memories of Hope. Draw 1 card for each number exceeds monster you control with a different name. Okay, that can get pretty sacky, but unfortunately, we're not playing Master Rule 3. We have Morschlag. This is an equip spell that you can only equip to a normal summon or set monster you control. It is unaffected by anything that your opponent activates that is special summoned. Okay, and during damage calculation, your opponent loses attack and defense equal to the equipped monster's attack and defense. So, in other words, you will win the battle every time. And finally, Pendulum Halt. 3 or more pendulum monsters with different names in the extract, draw 2 cards, and for the rest of the turn you can't add cards from the deck to your hand. Oh, hey, this card, I think there's a lot of potential with this. Just because 3 or more face-up pendulum in the extra deck is not that hard to achieve, and it doesn't lock you out of special summon. So in other words, this is like after you set everything up, you activate this card for a plus. I think there is potential with this card. Very cute card, I guess. Oh my god, I guess this is another card that you guys want to talk about. There's a lot of good support that are just like really random cards, and Spell Mining Cave or Spell Karst Cave. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, they cannot activate monster effects or declare attacks, which makes their life points safe. Kind of reminds me a little bit like Chicken Game. This is a very Floodgate-esque card, and if you control more monster than your opponent, you cannot activate monster effects or declare attacks. In other words, it goes both ways, very much like Chicken Game. Now, once per turn during the end phase, if you control the same number of monsters as your opponent, destroy this card. I have to say, this card is going to be very annoying. I remember that people are playing like Destiny board or Exodia, just drawing out their deck just because your opponent can't answer it, because they're not playing spell trap removal, and because of the lack of spell trap removal for like a Dangerous Thunder Dragon deck, you can't just get rid of it ever because nothing can activate. You can't go into your Phoenix, Unicorn, even your Herald, I guess not your Herald, but a Heraldic Seal of Heavenly Spheres can't bounce this card. It's just gonna be a pain in the butt just dealing with this card. Finding some way to negate this card is gonna be very difficult as well. So very good card against Dangerous Thunder Dragon. They have to side in Twin Twisters for this. Pankratops won't cut it. None of the other cards will cut it, and they can't put you to lethal as long as this still remains alive. There are other ways they can kind of mess you over, but if they're playing, say, Sekka's Light, they're done. The game's over when you activate this card. Then there's stand-in, tribute a monster, take your opponent's monster and just reuse it. I guess Sky Striker Mirror, Speed Riff. If you control exactly one tutor monster, special summon out a Speed Roar monster from your deck. Okay. Whew. Almost done with the spell, guys. Creature Dex Connection. I don't think that's the actual name, but you get to steal your opponent's Link monster by creature swapping with them, one of your non-Link monsters. Pretty good. Then we have White Fish Salvation. I guess this is a fish card. A very awkward card, to be honest. There's a lot of awkward one-off cards, and this is one of them. Target a fish monster in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. Okay? And if this card... Well, you can only use this card once per turn. If this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, take a fish monster in your deck and add it to your hand or special summon it. Summon out your Coelacanth, guys, and go for the FTK or OTK. And the weirdest support award goes to Cloudian Aerosol. I don't know why this is here. Do we have more Cloudian support? Discard one Cloudian card, and no one cares about this card. Next. Okay, for traps now we have Weather Canvas. So we have Rainbow Canvas. It gives effects to your monster, and what does it give for your monster? If your opponent controls a monster, you get to banish one of your monsters that's in front of this card or next to it, basically in a bit of a Y-shaped 3 zones. And you get to summon out another weather monster out of your deck, but you cannot special summon out monsters from the deck for the rest of the turn. So in other words, you can still special summon from like all over the place, but not out of the deck. Okay, moving on. Chain Hole. If your opponent activates an effect from a chain, like Chain Link 1, and then they do a Chain Link 2, you can use this card to stop them. So if they chain like a hand trap, then you can use this card, negate that, and then they have to banish one card from their hand or deck with the same name, or they lose one card in their hand randomly. So that's really painful. This is another card with a potential. There's 2 cards with the potentials in terms of traps. Dissect is not that card, but this one's kind of interesting. During your turn, you roll a 6-sided die and you apply the effect. During your turn, banish cards from your graveyard equal to the result. So if you fail, but then if you roll a 1, you get to send 6 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. But during your opponent's turn, send cards from the deck to the graveyard equal to the result, or if it was a 6, you get to banish 1 card from your graveyard. Very awkward card. I don't know what I think about it. Oh, a musket card. Seems like the Spirit Warriors are gaining a bunch of support. You get to special summon out a magical musket from your hand. Okay, I'll live with that. Moving on. Manhunt. I think this one's called Crackdown. Crackdown is a godsend. This is the super rare card that's going to be $3 to $5 and will maintain at that price, potentially even going up to $10 as a super rare, just because it is so good. I tried this card main decking it. It was working wonders. If your opponent goes ahead and summons out like Vanity's Ruler, they think they have game on you, and you flip this card on them, and now they have a taste of their own medicine. Brutal, really brutal. Like, they think that, oh, I can play around everything. I can still special summon. Yeah, no. You lose. Yeah, that's what this card says. You can main deck this card. You can side deck this card. Obvious good choice of a side for sure, because it can remove like one of the bigger materials from your opponent. And if they have counter traps to stop you, you can take it before they have that counter trap live. Yeah, it gives you a lot of opportunity for sure. One of the best cards. Definitely pick up 3, perhaps even more, just for your other decks. Like, I'm going to be looking forward to collecting as many of these as possible. So Yugioh Shackle. Oh, we also have Snowman Effect. I didn't even read what this card does, but it looks like there's a bunch of Snowman Eaters getting crushed. Target one face-up monster you control. It gains attack equal to the total original attack of all the other monsters you control until the end of the turn. It cannot attack directly. Okay. So, this is the Spirit Bomb card. You gather all the attack and you can one-shot your opponent, but you can't attack directly because they have to be evil. Cool. So Yugioh Shackle, target one Link monster you control or in their graveyard, draw cards equal to its Link rating. Or if you have 2 or more, and if you have 2 or more cards in your hand, place 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of the deck. This is Pot of Greed? Target a Link monster your opponent control or in their graveyard. If they make a Saryuja, you get to draw 4 cards, and then if you have 2 or more cards, okay, then you take those cards and you put it back into the deck. So this is kind of like Saryuja's draw effect, except that if you do it to a Saryuja, you get to draw 2 cards. Pot of Greed, +1. Hooray. Lots of good traps in this set. I am liking this set because there's a lot of support that we can play with. But we're not done yet. We still got one last page of 8 monsters, which is Extra Deck. Extra Deck, if you guys can't tell, my enthusiasm has dropped because my life point is down to almost nothing. We've got ourselves our new Fusion Dragon, Muddy Mud Dragon. This is the non-fusion Mud Dragon. This is a Synchro Mud Dragon, and you can use it as a fusion substitute for basically any card during your main phase. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your Extra Deck using monster you control, including this card. Okay, and what does it require? A tuner, non-tuner. So it's a level 6 tuner fusion support. It's a fusion support as a synchro. And finally we get Doom Dragon. We got the Chaos Doom Dragon first. Now we get a new Doom Dragon. This one requires 2 or more level 5 monsters. 1000 attack per monster. I believe you can reattach more and more monster onto this card, and you can also target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard and put it back onto the top of their deck. If you do that, cool, you get to screw over their draw. Next we have number XX, Infinity Dark Utopic. Sounds really weird. So yeah, requiring 2 level 10 monsters. Why can't you just let me Phantom Knight rank up magic into this card? Why can't you? Why'd you take that away from me? Okay, so when a monster is destroyed by battle sent to the graveyard, you can detach a material from this card. How am I gonna get that material? I'm not playing trains. Is this a train card? Rada, where are you? Okay, so yeah, then what happens? Special summon it in defense mode. Target 1 other face-up special summon monster you control. Gain life points equal to its original attack. You can only use this once per turn. Oh, sweet! Trains can win in game, although they can already win in game. But this is a 4K beat stick. That's cool. Next, Madolche Teacher, Glass Souffle. Huge following for this card because Madolches need this for going first. It lets them set up. It's a really good card, and you can screw over your opponent's graveyard. Okay, enough about the exceeds. Time for the links. Burning Abyss link, Cherubini, the Ebon Angel of the Burning Abyss. This is another money card of the set, secret rare. What else do you want me to say? You get the Foolish Burial level 3 card into the graveyard. You require 2 level 3 monsters to make this guy. You can play in Salamangrates. Anything it points to cannot be destroyed by card effects. I am running out of breath. Yeah, I think it's kind of a bit too late though. That's just my opinion. I just feel like, sure, Burning Abyss can come out on top, but they don't have snow, and losing snow is just a huge factor that I don't think just having this card just recontributes to. But maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, and maybe Burning Abyss will come back. The deck that is truly immortal. Funny that like they killed off a card that's not BA that killed the deck. That's funny. Oh, Mermail, hello. I guess Mermail bestrike gruesome legs now, and now she has legs. Legs. That's like PewDiePie. Anyways, 2 fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster. I didn't read the effect of this. During your opponent's turn, it has a quick effect. You can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, which is a cost, and to add a Mermail monster from the deck to your hand. The cost will trigger out the Atlantean cards, so if you have Atlantean cards in your hand, you will get their effect to pop a face up or hit a set. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's attack or by card effect, oh, they made it very specific, not just battle. You can send 1 water from your deck to the graveyard, then target 1 monster in your graveyard, a special summon it in defense position. In other words, you're triggering the Atlanteans and getting free bodies. This is a good card. Like, by no means this is a bad card, and this also lets Mermail go first and not worry about getting killed just because the deck doesn't run exactly a lot of good back row. And here's our landing ship, Ambrose Whale. This is our sneak peek entry card. 2 effect monsters, machines, rank link 4. I guess everyone gets a fat link 4 to play with. 200 attack for every link monster in the graveyard. Okay, and if this card is destroyed, you can target 1 link 3 or lower monster in either player's graveyard and special summon it. Oh, that's cool. In other words, it's a carrier. If a link 3 or lower monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card and destroy 1 card on the field. It's a decent link 4. I'm not gonna lie. It's there. It's good utility. I'm not sure who's gonna main deck this card, but if you can use the attributes of fire or the typing of machine, this card might be for you. If you're locked into machines, but if you're locked into dark, not so much. And last but not least, we have Puzzle Mino, our Link monster, requiring 2 different level monsters for its recipe. It's a spellcaster Link, so I guess you can use it to get out of Secret Village with the spellcaster. But what I really want to talk about for this card in particular, our Tetris Master, is that it fits into like combo extension. It has an arrow that points the opposite direction of the Guard Dragon LP, and because of that, you can go into Agripane a lot easier. Like, for sure, this card, it sounds a bit weird, but it's possible. You can convert your crappy little Tsuchinokos into level 8 so that you can rank into a rank 8, maybe go into a Hope Harbinger, go into Zombie Stein. There's a lot of plays you can do with this card just because his arrow is pointing this way, and for a fact that he's really easy to summon. And then he's a Link too. You can also link him off because he can be used as a Link material. Yeah, I wouldn't cut this card out. He might be the random like space insulator card that we are going to see play in the near future. So yeah, that's something to consider. And that's all, folks. And I am super tired right now, guys. I've been in front of this camera for like, what, 3 hours of recording? So much reading, so much correcting. And if you guys enjoyed this segment, hit me up with a thumbs up to boost my life points. My life points is sub 1,000. Wow, who knows? Maybe I'll have an anime plot twist to come back. Anyways, we all can hope. So every single emergency provision thumbs up I appreciate. If you guys want to support this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to check out the Patreon link down in the description below, because it lets me know that you guys want this segment to stay alive. And well, I will do my best to satisfy that. Hopefully I get to open some packs in the near future. And yeah, that's all I got. So let me know down in the comment section of which cards do you want in the set. Do you guys prefer sets that introduced a bunch of new cards, or do you want them to be like a bunch of support cards? By new cards, I mean like a whole new archetype so that you can diversify the meta. Or do you want like more hand traps, more meta cards that everyone can get access to? Is that your preference? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you want to do anything else, hit subscribe. Check out the Patreon link down in the description below, because I'll really appreciate that once again. And until next time, I'm running out of life points, so I'll just have to recover life points in the next duel or something. I need to get away from everything. I'll see you guys in the next one. Sneak peek. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please drop us a like so we know we are doing a good job. And you can also subscribe to MST.TV for more fantastic videos by clicking on the button on the left. Don't forget to check out our partners at Imperium Duelist. They make really high quality mats, including some of my own limited edition release stuff. And if you want to check out one of our past videos, click here on the right. As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you next time.